Hello, hello, hello. This is Coach Vic. This is Finding Your 40. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So glad to have you guys back with us. Today we're going to talk. We're going to talk more about Finding Your 40 through the success puzzle, about Proctor's success puzzle, and we are going to talk today about decisions and about and just really begin to really see how we can best. Find better ways to make good decisions, but also how we can develop our decision-making skills. And so we're going to talk about that today on Finding Your 40. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for all the new subscribers that have subscribed. The channel is really, really growing. I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you and all that you're doing, all the sharing, all the comments, all the emails of encouragement. I want to say thank you to all of you first of all before we get started. Now let's get started. So here we're going to talk about principle over precedent. Stare decisis is a legal principle that compels a court of law to follow established precedences when the ruling on cases concerning similar cases and circumstances. It is a Latin term that means to stand by the thing that has been decided in practice. It means that a court of law should adhere to the ruling of a previous case when faced with similar cases. Now, the reason why we're talking about that is because we're going to talk about the triumph of principle over precedence and the working of an ideal to its logical conclusion in spite of accumulated testimony of all past experiences. In other words, our successes are not predicated or predicted by the previous failures of others. Additionally, we cannot judge our potential to succeed on our own past failures either. No two situations or conditions are exactly the same. What we may have failed at doing the last time, we may succeed in doing this time. We discussed the Wright brothers, but there are multiple other inventions and inventories of success stories, such as Madam C.J. Walker, such as Thomas Edison, or Louis Pasteur. They all had something envisioned in their mind, and no matter what the original outcome may have been, they did not cease working until they achieved the desired result. Each of us holds the keys within us to unlock the secret chamber that contains our heart's desire. It is said of the Wright brothers that one of them will say to the other after the experiment didn't turn out the way they expected, "It's all right, brother. I can see myself riding in that machine and it traveling easily and steadily." Just like the Wright brothers, we have to keep our success picture constantly before us or in front of us. In visualizing or making a mental picture, we are not endeavoring to change the laws of nature, we are fulfilling them. Our object in visualizing is to bring things into regular order mentally and physically. In the segment of the subconscious mind, we discussed mental reps. This is a continuation of that process. When we realize that the method of employing the creative power brings our desires one after another into practical material accomplishment, our confidence in the mysterious but unfailing law of attraction, which has its central power station in the very heart of our word picture, becomes supreme. Here's a picture of the Wright brothers flying easily and steadily, is what he said. Easily and steadily. It's okay, brother. I see myself flying in that machine easily and steadily. In essence, we must look at this as if we were at the ophthalmologist for an eye exam. As we sit down in the chair having our vision checked, the doctor flips lens by lens, frame by frame, and we read the line by line, ensuring what is seen is what is supposed to be seen. The vision test is not a multiple choice test, nor is it an essay or a short answer. What's on the screen is the only answer, and based on our answer, there is either a correction or a continuation. Once we get a clearer picture and bring everything into proper focus, we move on to the next test. Nothing can shake the law of attraction once we have clarified our word picture. We never feel it necessary to take anything from anyone else again. Here's an example of the of an eye exam chart, of an eye chart. You start with the EF, or the doctor might ask you, start reading from the line. You can read most, and then most will start at the top. Some people may start at the bottom because they have very great vision. But I want you to understand that just because you have great sight does not mean you have great vision. And the two people interchange them all the time, but your sight and your vision are not the same. Your vision is your perception of what you see, and your sight is actually what you physically see. And so, while we call it a vision exam, it's actually a sight test. It's an idea to get a sight test. I remember when I was in the military, we used to always talk about, we would go to do combat arms training, and we would lay down and we would get behind the rifle, and we would put our eye on the sight, on the back sight, and then look through the front sight, and then down to the target, and we would never focus on the target. We always focus on the front sight. But what I'm saying this for is we have to understand what you're looking at and why you're looking at it. If you're looking at something, with the wrong perception, then more than likely your vision is not the vision that you envision is not going to manifest in the way that you hope that it will. And so we have to understand that as we're going through the process of our visioneering, that we must first understand and identify who we are, get our identity, identity management, begin to understand more about who we are, and then we can begin to walk in who we are, and we can envision or build our vision based on who we are, because we understand what we're supposed to have. If you don't know who you are, you don't know what you're supposed to have, then it's hard for you to really begin to manifest visions the way that you want to. And the reason why that is Bob Proctor used to always teach, we manifest what we are. And so if you don't know what you are, if you don't know who you are, you're not going to manifest successfully the things that you desire. So you have to get in your mind. You have to build your self-confidence. You have to build your self-awareness. Talk about metacognitive learning, metacognitive knowledge, and you have that meta-knowledge of yourself and how everything around you operates to bring you into your greatest destiny, into your greatest opportunities, and into your greatest perspective of who you are. And so as we're going through that process, we better understand more and more about who we are, and we're able to do more and more what we desire to do, and build our manifestations from there, have our successes continue to operate from there. We have learned that asking and seeking have receiving and finding as their correlatives. We know that all we have to do is to start the plastic substance of the universe flowing into the thought modes that our picture desire provides. At the leading edge of this process is decisions. We talked about decisions and answers in previous segments, but I believe in order to get the most out of our success puzzle and our manifestations, we have to deal with decisions again here and now. Decisions are, when properly understood, contains as much, if not more, potential for good than any other lesson we could study. Mastering the ability to make effective decisions quickly will create for us what many people would consider to be a charmed life. It will also keep us in leadership roles that are envied by many and understood by few. Decision makers go to the top, while those who do not make decisions seem to go nowhere. With this in mind, we can say that making decisions is merely answering a question. Strange and marvelous things happen with constant regularity as we alter our lives and begin to live in harmony with the laws of the universe. One of the laws of the universe is polarity, the law of opposites. Everything in the universe has an opposite. There is no up without down. There's no hot without cold. Question and answer are the opposite sides of the same thing. Every question must have an answer, and we're about to learn how to tune into the answer. Understanding the law and altering our lives to live in harmony with it will certainly assist in the decision-making process. One of the major causes of this indecision is a person's firm belief in limited supply. And I want to talk about this for a minute, because a lot of what happens, the reason why we end up getting into this thing with limited supply is because we talk about sales and marketing. And we always say, oh, these limited supply, come get it before it's gone. And so we're going to assume that there's only a certain amount, a small amount of something. And so it makes it difficult for us to have to choose, because we talked about the two things, the two reasons for that. And one is limited supply. The other is fear of missing out. And because of those two items, we end up making bad decisions or wrong decisions because we're scared we're going to miss out on something, or we're scared we don't have enough of something. And so with that being said, we're going to deal with both of those over the course of the next couple of segments, especially limited supply, because in our mindset, if you have a limited supply mindset, is based on a mindset of scarcity. And if you have a scarcity mindset, you're not operating up to your full potential because you don't believe that you have enough of whatever it is you desire in order for you to have more than what you need. And so this is really, really important for us to understand this part of the process. There is no limited supply. As we study the supply piece of the supply puzzle and develop a proper understanding of the true source of supply, we will realize there is never any limit. Let me say that again. There is never any limit. The only limit we have is the one we place on ourselves. And in fact, our potential is unlimited. We can virtually eliminate the conflict and confusion in our lives by becoming proficient at making decisions. Decision making brings order to our mind, and of course, this order is then reflected in our objective world. Our results. Remember the sequence? Thought, feelings, actions, results. Our results we talked about the thoughts coming from the conscious mind. We talked about the feelings coming from the subconscious mind. We talked about the action coming from the body. The subconscious mind now pushes the body into action, and then through the action, we get results. No one can see us making decisions, but they can almost always see the results of our decisions. We think in a secret, and it comes to pass. Environment is but a looking glass, says James Allen, and this is from As a Man Thinks. And so we have to really begin to understand that as we're going through this process, that our mindset has to be a mindset of abundance. Our mindset has to be a mindset of growth, for us to be able to prosper in the area of success. We have to always be looking at ways to improve ourselves, and then begin to think on those positive things, and then we'll begin to see the results of success that we're looking for. In other words, the reverse of the adage is actually true. The saying is that we are a product of our environment, but the reality is that our environment is a product of our personal sequence: thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. The person who fails to develop the ability to make decisions is doomed, because the indecision sets up an internal conflict which can, without warning, escalate into an all-out mental and emotional war. There is a word that describes this sort of emotional war, and it is called ambivalence. The Oxford Dictionary tells us that ambivalence is the coexistence in one person of opposite feelings toward the same object. Go, don't go. Leave, don't leave. Do it, don't do it. Say it, don't say it. Ambivalence, the love-hate relationship. Everyone on occasion has had feelings of ambivalence. With this piece of the success puzzle, we're going to examine the cause of indecision and this escalated state of ambivalence, and hopefully eliminate them by becoming a much more effective decision maker. Now, I want us to understand that ambivalence is not a failure of making decisions. It is sometimes some decisions are a little more difficult because they become more personal to you, because there are certain other things involved, and so it makes it difficult for you to just cut things off when you have emotional ties to it. And so it makes it difficult for you to say yes or no to something, or go or don't go to something, especially when you talk about relationships and people. These are the primary causes of one of the primary causes of ambivalence, is that you have this relationship with somebody that you want to continue to move forward, but then at the same time you feel like it's unhealthy, so you want to stop. And because you have those two feelings on the inside of you, your heart is turning, your heart is wrenching, because you don't know which one is the right decision. And again, it goes back to that FOMO, fear of missing out, that causes us to feel like, okay, if we let this person go, if we let this go, if we stop this, then I'm gonna, it's gonna turn out to be great. I'm gonna miss the opportunity. But in all actuality, the longer you stay in something that you know is unhealthy, the more unhealthy it becomes. And it's not blaming the person. It's because of your perception of it. You know, because you continue to deal with these ambivalence, these feelings of love and hate, of leave and don't leave, of say it and don't say it. You're going to constantly find yourself second guessing yourself all the time, and then you're going to make yourself feel unworthy. You're going to make yourself feel like you deserve something more, or like you should be doing something more. But at the same time, you don't, the ambivalence just continues to grow, and after a while, you find yourself, you've created this huge monster of ambivalence, and it becomes a toxic relationship for both of you. And so you have to really begin to be careful about how you hold on to things, and how you think about things, and learn how to be willing to make hard decisions no matter what the situation is, because ultimately the hard decision, when you make the best decision, is always the right decision. And this is Coach Vic. This is Finding Your 40. We're going to stop here for this segment. We'll pick it up the next segment with the 4 point process of decisions. This is Coach Vic. This is Finding Your 40. Through the Success Puzzle. Like, share, and subscribe on the channel. God bless you all and have a great day and success.